So we're only networking. We're the business network for people who like people. That's the official strapline. Sounds really lovely, sounds really twee, really important, because ultimately you're not going to give business to somebody that you don't like. So we provide a platform for business owners, business leaders to come together, meet other wonderful people and network completely online. We do nothing in person. So that's a range of regional meetings, member-only meetings, and different ways to engage. We do education as well. We have masterclass, don't we? So it's like I would say only networking is becoming more like the only community, but networking is what people understand. And it very much is a space for business owners, business leaders to come together and be on that business journey together, and then also see where there's opportunities to collaborate or refer business to each other.
We started out as an in-person network, so I was in the networking room from 16 years old, straight out of school. And for me, dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of what can I add to this room? What am I even doing here? I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing here. How do you have a conversation? All of these really daunting people to talk to. But I very quickly realised that the core skill, and it is a skill because not everybody can do it, and there is a certain way to do it, but being curious, leading with questions, just the ability to have a conversation, that's crucial. And if you're curious about people, you can always learn something about someone's experience or, the way that they've built their business and the lessons that they've learned. So I think, you're not always getting positive lessons, but there's still stuff to take away from negative experiences that people have had. And I'm just a sponge in that space. So listening to what people have been up to and learning from their experiences.
Networking is a force for business and personal development, irrespective of what one you go to. And I think, you did that typical thing earlier where we can't say BNI, or we can't say another. It's not like like you're saying Voldemort, isn't it? It's such a weird thing. And I never really understood that, because we all just doing the same thing in a slightly different way. That's all it is. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for BNI. But for me personally, I wouldn't have had a business if it wasn't for networking, because I was this freelance writer, and when that work dried up, when I needed to actually build something repeatable with a new set of people that were buying into it, because you can't rely on your legacy contacts forever, networking was the gateway to that. So not just getting clients, but also understanding how to position it in a way that people wanted to buy it. That all came through networking. But the other side to it is the mental health side of it, because my mental health was awful. And I used to go networking, and this isn't overstating matters at all. It was a lifeline. It was the one time when I was in my very worst period of mental health where I felt myself. I felt like like a normal functioning human being. And it was only, much later that I realised that was because it gave me meaningful connection. I was sat on my own in a room doing work, and I was earning money, but I'd lost meaningful connection. And when I went to networking, I could just have conversations with people doing the same sort of thing as me, because all the people I knew that had jobs, I didn't relate to them in the same way. All I can say about leadership is that I've never felt like I'm a leader. I mean, because maybe I've got a hang up that leadership means hierarchy. The three of us work in the same space. I hope, I don't think I act as if I'm some kind of next tier to Kierney, for example. I think we talk as equals. So maybe that is my best experience, is that it's not this notion of I've got to make people do things. I think it's just everyone mucks in. I always remember Ben Jury talking about the cultural marker of everyone here makes the tea. I like that. There's no one that's bigger than someone else that wouldn't make the tea. I kind of like that. So I don't feel like, other than that kind of lead by example, I'll roll my sleeves up, wouldn't expect anyone to do something that I wouldn't do. I don't really know what leadership is. I shouldn't be on this podcast. I'm a fraud.
We all learn something. There you go. That's what it is.
I had to smile because it's funny how you said, I just tried to treat everyone like colleagues, because in my experience, that's what the best leaders do.
For James and I, particularly being a husband and wife, working together, doing it, being together 24/7, I think there is a lot to be said of leading a business together. And for us having equal qualities but in different places, I think that's huge, and that really is a testament to the success of what we've built. And if it wasn't for the way our personalities match so well, I don't think it would be as successful as it is. So, and it does make me always remember, I never feel like I'm working on my own. I don't. I always feel like, I'm up here, normally he's downstairs, and we very rarely see each other during the day. But knowing that you've got somebody else there that can pick up on your gaps, and that's probably where their strengths are. I think that's really nice.
So if you never own up to a mistake, what else are you not saying? So I think it's probably just around that, isn't it, Kelly, about finding people that not only, they're on our wavelength. Wavelength is not always enough to discern whether they are the right people to work with. I mean, we're lucky, Kierney, aren't we? Because I think we've got the same sort of values, haven't we?
Completely. Yeah, no, definitely. I think we're unusual in that space. I think we're lucky that we have that as a team. My answer to that, it sounds like we're pretty much all on the same page. The way I would probably articulate it is that perfection isn't real, doesn't exist, and isn't even necessary. It's basically what you said, wasn't it? But yeah, not expecting things to be done exactly as you do them, but also trusting that if you've given something to someone that it's going to get done. You don't need to micromanage, you don't need to check up on it, you don't need progress report. You just need to trust that it's going to get done, and if it's not going to get done, that is going to come back to you and it's going to be done by someone else. I think that's quite a good lesson, but we touched on it before, so I won't go back over it too much. But I don't think I appreciated how differently people think, communicate, work, prioritize. That's people are people. People are very unique, and I think that's probably been the most interesting. But that's the joy of leadership, I would say, having those different